51. BrahMos. BrahMos, we all know, joint venture. Brahmaputra and Moscow, India and Russia, they've together brought this BrahMos missile. And yes, this is a two-stage solid propellant vehicle. Solid propellant missile, solid propellant vehicle, BrahMos. And it has very low radar signature. Low radar signature in the sense, the chances of detecting BrahMos is very much low. The chance of detecting BrahMos is very much low. So it will not be detected easily, so that no counter-effective measures cannot be taken in a swift manner. So that is what the speciality of BrahMos is. Both statements given here, the first statement is incorrect. Instead of liquid, it has to be solid. But the second statement is incorrect. Sorry, second statement is correct. It has very low radar signature. Question number 52. With reference to Mughal India, what மாற்ற போகிறீங்களா சார்? மாற்றிடு சொல்லலாம் கூட்டிகிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் போகலாம். Question number 52, with reference to difference between Jagirdar and Zamindars. Zamindars were holders of land assignments in lieu of judicial and police duties, whereas Zamindars were holders of revenue rights without obligation to perform any duty other than revenue collection. Land assignments to Jagirdars were hereditary. Revenue rights of Zamindars were not hereditary. Actually, it was very hereditary for Zamindars and not hereditary for Jagirdars. Anyone, if they wanted, the Jagirs could have been removed by the Mughal emperors. On the other hand, Zamindars had this thing. Zamindars had this judicial and police duties. On the other hand, Jagirdars were nothing but people who held land assignments in lieu of their salary. That is, for their salary, they received land assignments and the revenue that was collected from that land assignment. So they, for example, if the Jagirdar has a salary of 8,000 and collects rupees 10,000 rent, we'll have to take the 8,000 from that particular Jagir and then give the balance 2,000 to the central administration. So that is how things were there, and it was not only the Zamindars had whole lands in lieu of judicial and police duties. Only revenue collection was the major duty of these Jagirdars. So both statements given here are incorrect. Option D, neither one nor two. Neither one nor two. 53. At Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri, Akbar established the syncretic faith known as Din-e-Ilahi. Akbar discontinued the debates in the Ibadat Khana. Actually, Ibadat Khana is a place where people used to meet and talk, discuss and deliberate religious discourses. At one point of time, what Akbar did was he handpicked a lot of good qualities, good perspectives and ethical perceptions from different religious sources, from different religions, and he culminated this ethical perceptions into one particular religion called as the Til-i-Ilahi. Til-i-Ilahi was not very big of a success in all. Only a few individuals, around 15, were part of this particular faith, including Akbar and Birbal and his close confidante. So yes, Din-e-Ilahi, and over a period of time, these religious discussions or discourses on religious discourses, they got very out of hand, and that is when he put an end to it by saying that there will be no more discussions at the Ibadat Khana. Discontinue the debates at the Ibadat Khana. So both 1 and 2 are correct. 54. National paper, national society, national press, gymnasium, circus, theatre, store, school. All these things, like it was started by someone called as Nabagopal Mitra. 55. Question number 55. Hezbollah is a Shiite militant organization. Yes. Hamas is a Sunni Islamist militant group. Yes. Houthis are a Shiite Muslim sect in Yemen. Yes, first three statements are correct. Fourth statement, Syria's secretive force is called as Quds Force. Quds Force is actually the one of the force of Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. It is from Iran, not from Syria. It is Iran's. So third statement is incorrect. Sorry, the fourth statement is incorrect. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Which of the following statements is or are true? The Tribhanga posture is prominent in Amravati sculptures. Sculptures composed in Amravati are more complex than at Stanchi. I think we have discussed more about Amravati previously itself. Like what are the colors they use, what is the type of art they portray. Yes, both 1 and 2 are correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Option A. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Option A. 57. Bhima Kadphisis patronized Mathura and built a stupa at Purushapura. Satavahanas patronized the Amravati school of sculpture. So Bhima Kadphisis is nothing but someone from the Kushana dynasty. Kuchala Kadipsis, Bhima Kadipsis and all these, Kanishka, all these people, they are from the Kushana dynasty, and Kushanas, they patronized the Mathura school of art, and we have discussed that earlier also. So first statement is correct, and we have also discussed this earlier that Satavahanas and Ishavaku, some sources say that Satavahanas also patronized the Amravati school of sculpture. So both 1 and 2. 58. Who gave rules of using zero with other numbers? It was Brahmagupta, one of the famous astrophysicist, astronomer and mathematician of that time, of his time, was Brahmagupta, who gave the rule that you can use zero with other numbers also. 59. Aflatoxin contamination is caused by. Aflatoxin contamination is caused by something called, it is caused by a bacteria. So if you have been like you would have come across this thing, like we'll be eating peanuts and suddenly one peanut tastes very foul. It will change the entire taste of your entire mouth feel, entire taste of your mouth bad. So this particular taste of the peanut is attributed to bacteria, and that is where aflatoxin M1 is highly seen, highly witnessed. So, but aflatoxin M1 has been brought by bacteria. Yes, aflatoxin M1. Sorry, it is fungi. Sorry, not bacteria, it's fungi. Extremely sorry. Aflatoxin contamination is caused by fungi. Sorry, it's not bacteria, it's fungi. '61. While dark matter attracts and holds galaxies together, dark energy repels and causes the expansion of the universe. Roughly 68% of the universe is dark matter, and dark energy makes up about 27%. Actually, the other way around. First statement is correct. Dark matter brings things together, dark energy it repels and expands the universe. So dark energy is something that cannot be seen, something that is cannot be witnessed. You say we think that between Mars, space is, what do we call space? We call space as a void and nothing, because space is nothing. But space is not nothing. Space is filled with a lot of other things called as dark matter and dark energy that play a very big role in the expansion, contraction, or holding together of the entire universe. So that is what this is, and 68% of entire universe is covered, visible universe is covered with dark energy, and 27% is with 68 and 27% is with this particular thing called as dark matter. '62. India-led group of friends. India-led group of friends is a campaign that was brought for crime against UN peacekeepers. India used to send military officers, mostly paramilitary officers, occasionally to United Nations as a part of their peacekeeping force, and a lot of crimes has been instigated against these peacekeeping force. So that is what India has brought in order to reduce these instances of crimes against United Nations peacekeepers, as called as the India-led group of friends. Moving on to question number 63. Oh yes, 62, it's B. 63, Adi Sankaracharya is associated with which of the following theories? The Maya theory, Advaita theory, and Tarak Brahma theory. All the three. We have discussed earlier, all these things, all these concepts we have discussed earlier. What is Mayavada, what is Advaita Vedanta, and all we have discussed. Yes, 1, 2, and 3. 64. Compressed biogas blending obligation will include the key objectives of CBG blending obligation will include import substitution for LNG. Yes, obviously we will substitute LNG. Next is we promote a circular economy, and if import substitution is done, we save on forex. And 4, assist in achieving zero emissions. Obviously, this is going to happen. So all 4 are the objectives of the CBG obligation, blending obligation. C, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Voluntary until 2024-25. And this CBG blending obligation is voluntary. Voluntarily, we can blend CBG till 2024-25. But it is very much compulsory from 2025 to 26, that year. 65. A well-known story of hungry tigress in Indian history exemplifies the sacredness of, Buddhist teachings. Oh, you could have come across this term. You could have seen when you picturize and learn. We learn art and culture and all. We used to see, especially when it comes to Buddhist art and Buddhist stupas, we largely see tigers, especially in Tibetan Buddhism and Tibetan-based regions and all. We used to see tigers a lot because something that has been related to Buddha. So in that logic also, you could have come across Buddhist teachings and hungry tigress. But the basic thing goes like this. This is like a Jataka story of Bodhisattva who gave himself in order to feed. Out of compassion, he gave himself to a very hungry tigress and her cubs as compassion. Out of his compassion, he felt that it was his purpose to be food for that starving tigress and her cubs, and he gave himself as food. That is what the hungry tigress is. Buddhist teachings. 66. Principal purpose test. What is the principal purpose test? Principal purpose test is something that is related to tax treaties. What is this principal purpose test? And there are a lot of things that can happen when there is a tax treaty between two countries. For example, country A and B, let us take India and Mauritius for example, have a tax treaty so that they charge concessional rates for each other's and each other's company. Now there is a third party called as let us say China or let us say US. Chinese-based company comes to know about this particular treaty between India and Mauritius. Now what they do is that when India and China and that particular Chinese company they trade or they are in relation, the tax percentage for that particular company will be very high because it is located in China. But on the other hand, India and Mauritius they have a tax treaty to reduce tariffs or to reduce taxation. Now, what this particular Chinese company will do is that it will use this treaty. It will not have any presence. It will not have any work in Mauritius, but it will use Mauritius as a base, and from here it will export its goods to India. So this is how things happen. Straight away, if it is coming from China to India, let us say it will from China, Mauritius, and India. Straight away, if it is coming from China to India, let us say it takes 30% of tax. But China and India and Mauritius, they have this 10% tax treaty. Chinese company will send to Mauritius. From Mauritius, they will send to India. For example, they will start a company here, XYZ company, and from this company, they will export here with 10% interest. So this is what treaty shopping is. And in order to attack the concept of treaty shopping, this particular principal purpose test has been brought. So the major principle of the transaction is being questioned. It is questioned in such a way that if there is any benefit, if a transaction occurs as a mere tool to get benefit against a treaty, tax treaty, that particular transaction will be invalidated for that particular concession. Only because, to put it in much better words, the transactions occurring solely for the purpose of getting benefits, tax benefits, such as this. There is no need for the company's goods in Mauritius, but he is bringing the goods to Mauritius, and from Mauritius he is doing here. So this is something that is unwanted. This transaction is done purely for tax benefits. So this tax benefits, this is where the principal purpose test comes into play and handles the situation, handles the issue of treaty shopping. So yes, principal purpose test, tax treaty. What is cloud seeding? 67, cloud seeding. Yes, I think we have discussed about cloud seeding a lot. The clouds, they have a lot of moisture in them, but for this moisture to condense, we need something called as hygroscopic nuclei. Usually these condensation occurs around dust particles and all this very little bit of salts that are there in the clouds. But when you artificially inseminate, when you artificially give such hygroscopic nuclei to clouds, the condensation process is heightened. It has been faster. It acts like a catalyst so that condensation occurs on a faster rate and rain occurs. So this is what cloud seeding is, and mostly salts will be used. One of the major salt that is being used is that of silver iodide, and we use dry ice. We can also use potassium chloride. So all three things that are mentioned here are being used as hygroscopic nuclei for cloud seeding. 68. Match the following. Match with respect to their boards. Coffee board, yes, it is in Bengaluru. Rubber board, Kerala, Kottayam. Tea board, it's in Kolkata. Tobacco board in Guntur. So 1, 3, 4 and 2, option B. 1, 3, 4 and 2, option B. 69. Alauddin Khilji, yes, Delhi Sultanates at that time period were constantly being threatened by Mongol invasion. In fact, the very first time itself, Iltutmish would have saved India from the wrath of Genghis Khan. And this also continued in later time periods also. And the reign of Alauddin Khilji was also no exception, or also was not different. He was also faced with the repeated threats from Mongols. One first statement is correct. And in his Warangal expedition, the Kohinoor diamond was taken by him, and from there it was taken by Nadir Shah. After all these things happened, Nadir Shah, and a lot of things happened, and today it is in the British crown. So see both 1 and 2. 70. Kangra School of Painting. Kangra School of Painting. So there are different types of painting schools. We have the Charu Panchasika style, we have the Kangra style, we have the basic Rajput style. So, and under the Rajput styles only all these things come. So there are different styles of painting, and this is also one form of painting that is focused, that is fixated on miniature levels of Vaishnavite paintings. And this happened after the migration of Mughal painters during the invasion of Nadir Shah. Okay. So both statements are correct. Incorrect statements are D. Both statements are incorrect. D. Both statements are incorrect. '71. Majuli masks. Yes, Majuli masks. Majuli masks are nothing but recent. In Assam, Majuli masks were given. You have this island, right? Majuli Island, center for Neo-Vaishnavite traditions. So one of the largest inland water islands, and is also the center for Neo-Vaishnavite traditions in India. The thing is, these Majuli masks have recently got GI tag. What are these Mazuri masks? In the previous test also, we have discussed about someone called as Srimanta Sankardeva or Satriya dance. Basically, Srimanta Sankardeva is a Vaishnavite. He's a neo Vaishnavite. He started all these ashrams and all, he had he chose art as a form of devotion. And he said, theatre, you can do theatre, you can sing, you can dance. That is what we call as Satriya dance. By Satriya dance, you can worship God. By Borgi, that is music, you can worship God. By Baunas, that is theatrical performance, you can worship God. So all these things can be done. So in this Bauna or the theatrical form of worship towards God, different types of masks are being used. Like to depict the different characteristics of the Ramayana, for example, there is Lakshmana mask, there is Rama mask, there is Hanuman mask, there are different types of masks. So in order to enact these Bauna theatre performances, these masks are being used. Yes, and depicts devotional messages under Neo-Vaishnavite tradition. Yes, that is what we discussed now. Srimanta Sankardeva established this art of mask. Yes, both 1 and 2. He is the one who started Bauna culture itself. 72. Nagabandha Mojna, or the shape of 8, is an important posture of Manipuri dance. It is an important posture of Manipuri dance. Section 7, question number 73, regarding star campaigners. So star campaigners are nothing but individual star campaigners. Star campaigners are nothing but individuals who campaign for the party. Oh, they should not campaign for the candidate. They should not campaign for the candidate, but they have to campaign for the party. For example, let us take BJP has a group of star candidates. They should not go and talk for XYZ as a person. They should talk for the party. They should talk for why should you vote for BJP. They should not campaign, please vote for XYZ. So this is what the star campaigners are. Star campaigners have been talked about in section 77 of the RPA Act, which talks about the leaders of political party, which can be construed with star campaigners. And there are differences with respect to recognized and unrecognized political parties having star campaigners. An unrecognized political party can have only 20 star campaigners. On the other hand, a recognized political party can have around 40 star campaigners. So the thing is, star campaigners, they should not be even seen with a candidate. If they are traveling to some place, or if their pictures are there in the same poster or a banner, nothing wrong will happen. Something like what will happen is that the expenses of the star campaigner will be added to the expenses of the candidate. For example, today's Lok Sabha and all, 75 to 95 lakhs can be spent per election for one constituency. If let us say if that particular on the first day of the campaign, no money has been spent, and the star campaigner is seen with the candidate, the star campaigner's residence, the star campaigner coming to that particular state took around 50 lakhs. So took around 50 lakhs. The candidate XYZ initially had 95 lakhs to spend. So the star campaigner was seen with the XYZ candidate. So, and bringing him here for his stay, for his food and all, it took around 50 lakhs. This will be added to this tally. This will be added to the tally of XYZ, so that XYZ will not have enough money for furthering his campaign. That is what the issue with star campaigners is. And star campaigners generally, they always used to be like, or they used to have utter words, like their campaigning strategy will be very, recent instances have been witnessed, like their campaigning strategy will be very monotonous, will be very instigating in the sense like there have been instances where communal violences, like communal undertones have been witnessed when star campaigners do their campaign, in their gestures, the things that they do all portray such nuances or portray such things. So that is one of the major issues when it comes to star campaigners. Yes, BBNJ treaty 75 BBNJ treaty, that is beyond biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction treaty. We have already discussed about this, otherwise known as the High Seas Treaty. High Seas Treaty. 75 regarding calendar. So using the moon's phases, the moon's rotation, the moon's revolution as a measure of months is known as a lunar month, a lunar calendar. So Hindu calendars are generally based on lunar calendars, and using the revolution of the earth around the sun as a measure of a year is known as a solar year or as a solar calendar. And this particular calendar, the calendars that we use today, the Gregorian calendars, they are a solar calendar. We all know that the Gregorian calendar is a solar calendar, right? Yes. But the major difference between a lunar year and a solar year is that a difference of 2 days, 354 and 356, especially on a leap year. The solar year has 356, the lunar year has 354 days. So all three statements given here are correct. 1, 2 and 3. All three statements are correct.